Welcome to the presentation of InfoBridge, where I tell you more about how to create a sustainable data integration by using a standard app called the Nebula Databridge. I have created a agenda of what we are going to do today. And actually, it will be a hands-on session, meaning you will need your computer, and during this session, you will actually build two integrations yourself. And of course, the product is easy, but we will help you. With me in the room, I got two of my colleagues with me, that is Carlo and Matthijs, and during the hands-on session, they will walk around and guide you. For the people who do not have a laptop out, you can of course look at your neighbor's laptop or watch the movie, which will run during the hands-on session, so at least you know what is going on. So the agenda for this 60 minutes, I give a short introduction on InfoBridge, what is actually the Nebula Databridge, and I give you quite some business cases. What SuperOffice consultants, partner consultants, or even customers have solved themselves by using Databridge, by building integrations. We have hands-on tasks, what we're going to do, and I'm going to share some other important information with you. But of course, I'm from InfoBridge, and Databridge is the best product ever. But now I have a customer with me here who will tell the honest.
Of course, other subsidiaries already have used Databridge in their systems and with their customers, so I won't be the first one to tell. But
yeah, isn't this? Yeah, it is working.
Yes, 75% of our projects demand some kind of form integrations, meaning that we integrate with systems like ERP systems or with finance systems. So we need some kind of integration to actually work with the customer and get the deal done. Let's see some cases where we used to be, and let's see some cases where we are today, to give you a good overview of what we are possible to do with InfoBridge Databridge. So back to an old day in my life where we did some questions with customers, and see if we can do some integrations there, and let's see how that works. So the typical conversation with the customer was like this: does SuperOffice integrate with SuperOffice X, with System X? I don't know. I need to check. That is, of course, the first question the customer will ask. And then, of course, the customer will contact us, and I have discussed it, and maybe it does. We didn't know in the past, because there were not many use cases, so we needed to check if SuperOffice could actually interact with these systems. What does it cost? Also, that is a difficult thing to say, of course, because we don't know exactly what the needs are for the customer and how to deal with it. So, well, to be sure, we need the meeting. So we always booked a meeting in the past to actually deliver the case and write a proposal to do the integration. With whom? Well, of course, with our programmer and our supplier. So, and your supplier. So we always did the conversation with a programmer, of course, of them. And then, when can we book this and what does it cost? Because it's a consultant who actually has to go to the customer and do this conversation, and that will cost money, of course. So it will cost half a day and we can book in 5 weeks. That's also something we have learned. We needed to act more quickly here, and therefore we have more consultants today, and we can act more quickly here and go to the customer sooner. But back in the old days, we could have a delivery time of 5 weeks, since we go to the customer and do the case together. And then I know if this is possible and what it will cost, what cost will be. Yes, I think so. So that was also a difficult thing to say, because the projects were very difficult and the software available was not always in the right directions. So we needed to change a lot of things. So not a good situation. And we needed to have done that, and I hope this will give you a good picture of how we did it and how we do it today. And that it makes it a lot easier for Databridge to use and do integrations.
So, Martin, what I see here and what I just learned in these slides, you can now offer integrations at a fixed price.
Yes.
One day to realize an integration. That is worth it. Well, thank you very much for telling us this. Martin has to leave because his plane is leaving, so that's why he's running out, and we had to move these slides up front. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
Goeie vlucht.
Thank you.
Okay, so remember the little agenda, short introduction on InfoBridge. InfoBridge, a Dutch software company, tulips, windmills, and we have always a lot of rain in Holland. But nevertheless, back in 2003, InfoBridge was founded by a former SuperOffice employee. We are an official ISV for SuperOffice and Visma. All our sales and support is done through our international partner network. We have a dedicated help desk in-house with 2 guys answering all the questions. And since we've been around already for such a long time, we are serving over 6,000 customers worldwide with our solutions. We have various on-premise and online solutions available for SuperOffice and for Visma. And with our product, the Nebula Synchronizer, we are synchronizing 24/7, 14,000 calendars every 15 minutes. So it is really cool to do. So I just wanted to share this with you. My name is Pierre from Mever. I'm one of the founders of InfoBridge, and well, I'm here with 2 great colleagues today, as I mentioned earlier, and we will dive into the depth of Databridge. So why the Nebula Databridge? I've highlighted a couple of things. So with Databridge, you can integrate or share information towards various back office systems. So you can use it to integrate information coming from your ERP system, directly integrate that in SuperOffice. And the nice thing is when you integrate it, it means you can make selections on it. And you can use it, for example, in your dashboards in SuperOffice. But it works also the other way around. Maybe, of course, in SuperOffice you have valuable information, and maybe you want to share that to your local ERP system, like all updated sales should be pushed out of SuperOffice to your local system. It is also an integration you can realize. You can automate these tasks, and over the past months we have added some extra automation functions for that. So let's say an import or an export you can schedule, but nowadays we also support webhooks and triggers. And what do I mean with a trigger is, let's say you have a company card in SuperOffice with the category prospect, and now the category is changed from prospect to customer. Automatically the data will be pushed out to your back office system, and all done without coding, and I will show you later on. Databridge is standard. It is 100% built on the NetServer API, so it totally follows the rules of SuperOffice. So this means with the release cycle of new releases of SuperOffice, Databridge always keeps up and will support all latest fields and entities. And it is user-friendly. We put a lot of time and effort in the user interface so that SuperOffice consultants, the consultants of partners, and even the more techie customers can create their own integrations and also maintain their integrations. And last but not least, it is affordable. So Databridge starts, it's depending on the size of your business, because how bigger the business are, most likely your data needs are much higher, but it starts at 50 euros per month, and that is of course a site license pricing. So a tip I want to share with you is, well, this nice iceberg slide, integrate only what you see. When, as a consultant, when you go out to a customer, the customer will always try that the SuperOffice consultant should do all the work. Because he will say, hey, I have Dynamics here. Yes, please get the latest orders out of Dynamics and process that in SuperOffice. Don't fall for the trap. You have only knowledge about SuperOffice, and most likely the customer wants to save on the consultancy costs of Dynamics dude. So, again, you only know one system the best, and that is SuperOffice. So yes, if the question is, can you integrate with Dynamics or with some other system? Yes, that is possible, but you need to deliver the data. You don't have the knowledge about the Dynamics database to fetch the right information. Any complex calculations, what needs to be done? No, don't go even down that path. Make sure that the data is already delivered, is suitable for SuperOffice. Only that way you can give the customer a fixed price for the integration, because otherwise you will really be stepping into the unknown, and it will be a very costly endeavor. So keep this one in mind. What I always use when I talk to the SuperOffice subsidiaries, it is important to take the right responsibility. And basically this slide belongs to the previous slide. This displays the responsibility of the customer. They have a local ERP or a back office system. If they want to have something from that system being imported or being stored in SuperOffice, they should prepare the data and put the data somewhere where we can reach it from the cloud. Because you do not want to worry about are any ports open or whatsoever. Again, you will go into the unknown area. You have knowledge about the SuperOffice part. You know everything about the SuperOffice database, the entities, and what you can do there. So if you keep this slide in mind when talking about integrations, you can build a standard integration for the customer against a fixed price. So, good to know. I shortly already mentioned import and export. All major SuperOffice entities are supported. And what do I mean with an entity? An entity is the company card, the person card, project members, quotes, price lists. All the entities are supported. Databridge also comes with defaults and transformations. And what I mean by that, most likely when you receive some data from an external system, most likely it does not have all the fields you need in SuperOffice. For example, when you are receiving an external company card, you won't have a column like the category and business. But this information is important for SuperOffice. So you can set up, on all these special fields, you can set up default values which to use. And also, Databridge comes with powerful transformations. A good example, you get a file and the phone number is in there. And most likely the phone number has dashes and spaces in it. So there is a transformation between the phone number. The address field in SuperOffice consists out of the street address and house number. Maybe your source file has the street address and house number in two separate columns. So there is a merge transformation. There are many transformations on board, even a replace transformation. The country, you are receiving NO, but SuperOffice expects Norway. So you can set up a transformation from NO to Norway. Of course, it comes with a lot of deduplication settings, because when handling external data, you do not want to have duplicate data. So you can set up deduplication rules on a lot of fields, including user-defined fields. And you can define an action, meaning, okay, the record has been found, which action should be done? Should we skip it? Should we update it? Should we only update, for example, the empty fields? Field selector and no coding. Building an integration sounds difficult, and we really looked in a way on how can we make it very easy. So the complete integration to integrate or export data is done through a field selector. So you don't have to worry about SQL statements or whatsoever, just start by typing it. So if you would type company, you will see all the fields of the company card. That's how you select fields to export data or how to map fields, and you will see that later on. And again, no coding. And no coding means it will not break if something changes. Automation, I shortly mentioned this already. You can schedule it daily with a regular scheduler. You can schedule your tasks, or you can use these event triggers in SuperOffice. Cloud FTP and cross-platform. Databridge is a full 100% cloud solution, so you install nothing on your local server. So how do we get to the data? Very easy. We can read and write to the most common storage providers, like Dropbox, Google Drive, and Microsoft OneNote. Of course, we also support FTP and secure FTP to reach the data. And Databridge is also, it's not available only for SuperOffice CRM Online, but if you have an on-premise customer, we can also reach the SuperOffice environment from the cloud in an on-premise environment. I'm just naming a few features, not all of it, because we are constantly improving Databridge. Databridge is widely used, luckily, by a lot of customers and consultants already, and we get quite some feedback. And so we react very quick on what you experience in the field. Just let us know and we will build it in. So triggers are in there. We have now full price list support, meaning if you have an SAP system where all the prices are in there, you can set up an integration with SAP that when you're creating quotes, you will always have the latest price information. We support full quote lines. So if you're quoting in SuperOffice and an updated quote needs to be submitted to the ERP system, you can do that very easily with Databridge. We have support for various file types, but we have XML, Excel, and we're currently testing a full access to the document entity support, meaning you will be able to bulk import documents directly in the SOR, well, not directly in the SOR folder, but the documents will end up in the SOR folder, but also to retrieve documents if you would need to get them out. And this would open a way, let's say you have an ERP system who creates a quote in a PDF format, you can have the original external quote as a document line in SuperOffice. Some other parts we have realized, Google Sheets support, We've added more transformation, of course, with GDPR related, full person consent handling is in there. And what we have done, especially for the consultants, if you have created an integration with Databridge, everything is stored in a profile. Now it is possible to take out the profile from one SuperOffice tenant, go to another customer, and import that profile again. So you do not need to do any re-field mapping or whatsoever. So that saves you a lot of work. A few business cases. I'm gonna point out what consultants have realized and also customers have done. Shortly mentioned already, remember when the category changed in SuperOffice, push out the data, the checkbox retired is turned on the contact person, something should happen. When a sale is there, it works also the other way around. When the sale is updated in the ERP system, update SuperOffice, immediately people are using it on doing sophisticated things when web forms are filled in. Various entities should be created in SuperOffice. And the list goes on. We have, oh yeah, that is an interesting one, a German company who is taking care of construction grounds. So they have a subscription where they will get automatically all new construction grounds coming up, and that is imported as projects in SuperOffice. Yeah, create person card based on online reservation made on a website for vacation cabins. So there are many possibilities what you can build with Databridge. And the good thing is we were never involved in these cases. Cases solved by customers directly or by consultants. So it is almost time for action because you're not sitting there only listening to me, but you want to get your hands dirty. But before we do that, I'm going to show you two short movies. Movie one is how to build an event-driven integration from SuperOffice to an external system. That is the example when something changes in SuperOffice, and also the other way around. I have an ERP system, my order is saved there, and something should happen in SuperOffice as well. So in this movie, it is important when working with events in SuperOffice, and I just want to point that out, a SuperOffice CRM script is required. And that means an additional, you know that, what is it called? Expanders?
Expander tools.
Expander tools. The customer needs the expander tools for that to have events in SuperOffice. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's just take a look at the movie here. I have SuperOffice open in one tab. For demo purposes, I've opened Dropbox so that I can show you that data is written. And I'm going to start by creating a new profile in Databridge. So I give my profile a name, new debtor to ERP. It is coming from SuperOffice. It is going to Dropbox. And I click next, and I end up in a wizard. So in step one, I need to make the connections. In this case, I connect to my Dropbox environment. I click next. And now I'm just stopping the movie here for a second. Now I'm at the configure source. And what we have done, because now you want to select the fields. Remember, the company card has changed, and I want to push over some data to my ERP system. So by using this selection function like a template, and we have created the template for all the entities in SuperOffice, you will have access to all the fields in SuperOffice. So when I select company, I have access to all the company fields and including the related fields to a company. So let me continue the movie. So I select the template company. Databridge suggests already a standard set of fields, but if I'm not happy, I can just use the field selector to select any field I want to use. So for now, for the demo sec, I leave just the standard fields. I click next. Remember I told you about the transformations. So you can set up these transformations here if needed. I give some information on the destination settings, how it should be stored and where. And I make it now a trigger. And then, well, this looks pretty technical. You have to enable this trigger functionality. And this is like, it is a unique URL for this one profile. You need to copy that to the clipboard because we will need it later on. And in the last step, you get an overview. You click save, and that's it. And now the only thing you need to do, you need to add a very small CRM script inside the SuperOffice admin. And we have all these scripts listed for you, so you do not need to reinvent the wheel. So then what happens? I'm at the customer card, I click edit, and now I change the category to customer, push to push to ERP. I click save, and you will see within a few seconds the data is going to be pushed to an external system, and in this case it pushed it now to Dropbox, that you see that the data ends up there. And those are exactly the fields which you selected in the field selector. Very easy to use. And now it's up to the customer to process the data in a way he wants this. This was example 1. Remember, I had a second movie, now the other way around. So I have an ERP system, and then when the order is saved in the ERP system, it should end up in SuperOffice. And this can be done by using a webhook. So let me show you how to set this up. Same idea, I have SuperOffice, I got here my beautiful ERP system. And we're going to start by creating a profile. So we give it a name, process the order. The ERP system stores it on the local FTP server at the customer side. In this case, I need to fill in some FTP information. I click next. And again, it is in the wizard. So in this step 2, I'm going to analyze the file which was produced by the ERP system. I see a little preview of the data. If needed, I can set up the transformations again. And now in step 4, I'm going to configure the fields. And just by using the field selector, you just start to type where the data should be stored in SuperOffice. And don't worry, we take care of the whole business logic behind it so that the records are created, of course, correctly. So in step 5, we're going to tell a little bit maybe about the date formats, or if we use a comma or a period. And then we set up the deduplication matching, which fields you should use and what the actions should be if a duplicate is found. And I can indicate that any new additions should be added to a SuperOffice selection for easy reviewing. Remember, these are the default field options I talked about. I can set that up. Click next. Also here, I select the trigger function. But now I'm using this URL like a webhook. Most modern ERP systems can call a webhook. Or you can use it, for example, in Zapier to call a webhook. It doesn't matter. So I hit save. Again, the unique webhook address is called by the ERP system each time a new order is created. So now go to my ERP system. I'm very happy, and I press the button Save Order in ERP. A JSON message will appear, but normally you will not see that, of course. But hey, everything is okay. So now what happened? When I go back to SuperOffice, the sale is added with all the information and is directly connected to the right company card. Very easy to set up. Okay, so ready to do some construction. This is time. I see already the people here with laptops out. It is time to try for yourself. Me, my colleagues will walk around and will guide you through the process. And the first task you have is the ERP system delivers daily a file containing everything related to a new and updated sale. And what you will be able to do after this session, you will see not only a company card is created, but a person will be created, the sale is also added and connected to the right company. All the steps are outlined in this slide, exactly what you need to do, and for the persons who do not have their laptop out, in a few seconds a little movie will play on the top where you can see well, all the steps you need to do. Okay, we have a small 14 minutes for this. Okay, we'll set the timer then. Thank you.